The attack on the Saudi oil wells was an absolute gift to the American oil industry and the gasoline industry, including the retail gasoline industry, because now they can jack the prices up 40, 50, 60 cents because Saudi Arabia and everything, the attack, yada, yada, yada. Of course, it's not needed, these price increases. There isn't going to be a shortage of the death-dealing pollutants found in oil. We are awash in oil in this country, as Trump is always bragging about. But American capitalism never to miss a chance to gouge you and gouge me. I understand that already on the West Coast, gas prices are up at least, at least 5 cents, maybe a dime. The predictions here in Atlanta, another sneeze, hold on. Predictions are here in Atlanta. Look for a 20% or 20 cent a gallon increase. There's one more in here. It's coming. 20 cent a gallon increase probably before the end of the week. Not that the Saudi oil shortage, per se, would affect what's already in the pipeline. But again, American capitalists, especially where it concerns the planet-destroying carbon industry, they never miss a chance to suck it to you and suck it to me. Huh? So, as far as the attack itself, it just, I don't know. All I can do anymore is laugh, even though people are dying, and I can't help it. It's a sardonic laugh. I'm not laughing because of the humor involved in all this horror that's going on since Trump took office all over the planet. But what are you going to do? But it is laughable to me. The Saudi government that has no problem ordering a journalist based in Washington, D.C., to be killed at a Saudi embassy in a foreign country, and then his body cut into small pieces so it can be fit into bags and taken back to Saudi Arabia, where I'm sure it was probably burned. The Saudis have no problem doing that. And now when an attack has been launched on their filthy oil companies, oh, the screaming, it's got to be the Iranians. They're bad guys, you know. These are the same Saudis who have been using American weaponry and death and destruction to kill tens of thousands of Houthis. Those are a specific subset of the Islamic people. They have been murdering Houthis in Yemen for a couple of years now. The United States, we provide the bombs and the bullets and the napalm and the destruction and the death and the coordinates of children's hospitals and old folks' homes and farms and weddings. We provide the coordinates, and the Saudis go in and bomb and kill and destroy. And what does the United States say about that? Hey, you want some more? Was it that little Jewish Nazi? There's a couple of them that works for Trump, Stephen Miller, but also his son-in-law. What a little Nazi bastard this kid is, right? But wasn't he crowing like a cock in the dawn? Not that long ago, about the billion-dollar deal he had arranged with the Saudis for weaponry, huh? Where do you suppose that weaponry goes? Where do you suppose the death and destruction goes? To Yemen. So the Saudis, in their moral superiority now, screeching and screaming to Allah and anybody else who will listen, even imaginary shit, they're screaming. Did I say shit? I'm sorry. Even imaginary stuff. The Saudis now are screaming, oh, it had to be the Iranians. The Shia Muslim Iranians. And of course, the monster in the White House is sitting back encouraging it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Telling his buddy Sultan bin Simon bin Bupin, whatever the hell the name of the guy who runs Saudi Arabia, the crown prince. What an evil little snake he is, huh? Boy, what an evil little snake. But Trump, sitting on his rather large rear end in the Oval Office, is encouraging his buddy, the Dismemberment Club, to blame Iran. What Trump and Netanyahu really want, what they really want, what they really want, is for Saudi Arabia to launch an attack on Iran. That's what they really want. Netanyahu, who is, I would not be the least bit surprised that this is a Netanyahu operation. This is my thought, my theory after watching the videos of the destruction and then finding out of the super sophistication of the drones and missiles that were used to target specific parts of the refineries in Saudi Arabia, a process that Yemen could never have put together. It required a very sophisticated military. Well, the Trump monsters will tell you that sort of sophistication rests with the Iranians. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But one thing we know certain is that it does rest with the Israelis. Now, I know the Israelis and the Saudis have this agreement, right? The fundamentalist Muslims and the fundamentalist Jews have decided, well, let's not fight each other because we are both super sophisticated societies. One of them is a dictatorship, and the other one is Islamic country. Let's not fight each other because we're both relatively wealthy in terms of what else exists in the Middle East. So let's form kind of a forced peaceful alliance between Saudi Arabia and Israel. And we'll trade, we'll all make a lot of money. In the meantime, we'll go to work on those Iranians and those dirty Palestinians, and anybody else who gets in our way. And of course, Netanyahu, being the slime ball that he is, he almost makes Trump look like a decent I take that back. But between Netanyahu, Mohammed bin Salman, or whatever the hell his name is, and Trump, between those three, are we to believe, or among those three, are we to believe that the Iranians decided, I know, let's launch a full-scale, massive attack, the most serious attack on oil fields in history, even worse than what Saddam Hussein did to his own oil fields when he knew that the Americans were coming. The Americans were coming. So we are to believe, you and I, because we are stupid Americans, we have no sense of global politics, we do not have leadership in this country. Our so-called political leadership bows down to Netanyahu because of the Christian Jew thing, you know. We're a Judeo-Christian country. Yes, sadly, we are, aren't we? Which means we are murderous. We are murderous. Go read the Bible. Read the Jew part and the Christian part. Go ahead. Go ahead. So now you and I, in our abysmal global political ignorance and our willingness to be led around by the nose, where it concerns what goes on in the Middle East, we are now being told that this was Iran. Do you believe it? Or do you want to call fake news? Personally, I have not. Okay, I shouldn't say I'm 100% certain because, as you know, in the Middle East, nothing is ever as it seems, ever. That's why 3 major religions began there. Because nothing is ever as it seems. It's a land of illusion and mirage and insanity and genies and dust devils and things in the desert and yeah. But even given all that, I am 94% convinced that this was a Netanyahu operation. Netanyahu is a killer. He is a warmonger. He is a Nazi Jew, just like Kushner, just like Miller, just like so many of these people. They have zero respect for human life. They couldn't care less. But what better ploy than to launch an attack on the Saudi oil fields? Isn't that great? And then get this moron monster in the White House to blame Iran. And to get the moron Christian Nazi fundamentalist Mike Pompeo to ride the same horse. Yeah, it's Iran. And smile while he's saying it, just like Roz said. He's like a Cheshire cat. He'll laugh while you're bleeding. He'll smile while he's cutting your throat. Unless you're a Christian. Now, if you're a Christian, well, that's a little bit different. Or a Jew, a Middle Eastern Jew. American Jews, comme ci, comme ça. But Israeli Jews, why, they're the key to the Christian Messiah coming back on a flaming horse. Right? This is madness, isn't it? That's why I say about the only thing you can do at this point, if you want to retain your sanity, is laugh. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to The Ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.